Show you what I'm doing here. I got a 12-volt outlet in the trailer. I'm running it down to the pump. I got an air pump, and I set it on 50 psi for the spare. Now it's going to pump that spare to 50 psi. That was quick. I've already checked the tires. They're still at 50 psi, but most people never think to check their spare. We were coming through Cheyenne, Wyoming one year in rush hour, coming back towards Denver on our way back south, and I blew a tire. I looked in the trailer. I looked out the side mirror and I see black stuff flying everywhere. I said, "What the hell?" And I know not to jam on the brakes and, start swerving the trailer, especially in all that traffic. I just let off the gas, and just started slowing down, turned my hazards on, made it to the berm, and had to change the tire. The thing is, this device right here is how you get that spare down from the back. You got to wind it down, and that was inside the trailer. So I'm sitting there on the side of the freeway in rush hour in Cheyenne, putting up the trailer so I can get that device. So now I keep that in the back of the truck, and I always make sure my spare has the exact amount of air I need. Not that you can't do this on the side of the road with this pump I have, but who wants to be messing with that? That pumped off awful quick. Oh, what happened was it came loose up here. You gotta turn this. There it goes. So that'll be at 50 psi where it needs to be. And that's a brand new tire too. So if something happens, I'm ready to go. Also, if you look under the trailer, I have a spare down there that's not mounted, but it's another spare. It's a different brand. So let's say I have a flat and I use that spare, and now I'm heading down the road and I get another flat. At least I've got the tire there that I can have mounted on that rim, which you can do in any shop in any city in the country. But one of the things you can't do is get another tire. You'll have to wait there for 2-3 days or whatever it takes to get a tire shipped to you. So I have the tire. What I ought to do is have that thing mounted on a rim. I met a guy up in Alaska on my trip up there. He had a Volkswagen van, and he asked me how many mounted spares I had for my motorcycle that I rode up there. I'm like, none. He shows me the back of his van. I swear to God, he pulls out 3 mounted spares, and he was so proud of himself. He goes, "I have 3 mounted spares with me, mounted on the rim." So he could get 3 flat tires and keep going. It's pretty smart, really, when you're out in the middle of nowhere. But I'm thinking of getting that other spare mounted, so I'd have 2 mounted spares with me. It's nothing to throw that extra spare tire in the back of the truck. But I'll tell you what, when you need it, it's sure nice to just take that tire off, put a new one on, and get up down the road. So that's what we're doing right now, is just kind of making sure everything's ready to go when we leave here in another day. So, and I always check these tires in the morning when they're cold. What I do is I put the air temperature gauge on the seat, so when I get up in the morning, I'm tired, I'm not thinking, I say, "Oh yeah, I got to check those tires." So I always do that before I leave on the trip. And I always check my lug nuts too, to make sure they're tight. Like I said, when I left Brownsville, I had one of the guys lube the bearings down there, and when I got back down to Brownsville, I checked them and one of them was loose, so you never know. Trailer Maintenance 101. Right, Shaggy? We're clear.